it's all part of the whole theme of our company of you're going to get what you give, what you put out is what you're going to get back. And we've always tried to run the business that way, taking care of people and making sure that we're doing what's in their best interest all the time, and giving the best of us that we can in service. And that's what we try and do.
Yeah, that was really the first thing you taught me about this business and business in general, is just how you treat people and how you show up for people is, really the most important thing. And that's what I've learned in watching you lead the team, and now getting an opportunity myself is, treating them, giving to them first, and with the clients, making sure that we're showing up for them and giving them everything we can in our meetings. That's how we're really going to have the best relationships. And I think that was the first slogan of the first company, was it's all about relationships.
It's all about relationships.
And that's what we try to focus on to this day. That's our core principle.
Every situation's different. You have to meet with people, you have to ask the right questions and understand every situation, and there is no product or service you can provide that's the same for everybody. Every situation's different. So just based on every particular situation, you know what recommendations to make. And there are many clients and many meetings that we have where there are no recommendations recommended because they're not in a position to do what they want to do or what you think they need to do, financially or otherwise, not always right for them.
Yeah, I think to touch on that too, I think, one of the ways I realized when it's not time to recommend something or when you shouldn't recommend something is, we really do a good job. I think the best part about what we do when we meet with clients is really focusing and listening to what they want. And when we get to the heart of really what it is they're looking for and helping them organize that in a clear way that they can communicate, that gives us clear direction on, what they're looking for and what they're not looking for. And so, that's what we do really, really well, is getting to the root of the core, what they really are looking for, and that helps us to avoid a lot of stuff that could create problems.
To me, a successful client relationship looks like you're now dealing with a family member, somebody who you really care about, and that's the relationship we have with 98% of our clients is, their family to us. And it shouldn't even take 10 years, and usually doesn't, for us to come across that way, that they know we really care and that we're going to do what's in their best interest. Because unfortunately in our industry, not every agent always does that. And when clients find someone that they like and we find clients that we like, it's a beautiful relationship from there.
Yeah, I don't think I could add anything to that. It was perfect. That's exactly how I define a successful client relationship, is if they're like family. Sometimes you get to a point with a client where you leave or you hang up the phone and you both exchange, you say, I love you. And to me, that's really powerful. When I can leave a client's home or they leave the office or we get off a call and it's like, hey, I love you, I hope you're doing well, can't wait to see you again soon. That's like family, and that's what we're looking for.
I don't know that you can always protect somebody from doing that. We try. People are going to do what they want to do a lot of times, and a lot of times they do make unwise financial decisions because they're dealing with their emotions. But our job is, again, like Daniel mentioned, to listen to what they say, see what they want, maybe give our opinion on what we think their best course of action to reach the end goal financial means that they want to hit, and try to help them get there. But we do the best we can, and sometimes people are going to do what they want to do, whether we recommend it or not.
Yeah, there's a lot of wisdom in the way you put that, because we can't always protect them even though we want to. And I think what comes to mind for me is some of our senior clients, and there's no shortage of scams and people that prey on them, and they often get pushed and coerced to do things that are just absolutely ridiculous. And we always encourage them to try to stop and pause, think about who you could call in your life to just double check this. We encourage them to call us. You get a weird email, you get a weird call, it doesn't sound right. Just take a second. Nothing needs to happen right then and there. Put a second pair of eyes on it, give us a call. And that's when people are kind of being manipulated down the scam route. As far as emotional decisions, I think that's where we try to help people create clarity around the most important priorities and concerns they have. And if you can really create some solid principles for why you're doing what you're doing, it gives them a framework to work within, so they're not just making decisions on a whim and hopefully avoiding mistakes.
I've been in Arizona for 40 years now, and it's my home. And again, as we build relationships with our clients, we want to make sure we're serving them in the best way possible. We have clients out of state, and we serve them too, but this is our home, so we take great pride in that.
Absolutely, that's community. You know, these are our neighbors, these are our friends, these are family members, these are people who we go to church with, go to the grocery store with, and we want to make sure that we're looking out for them and our community is as good as it can possibly be. But also there's a tremendous sense of responsibility. You know, knowing what we know to help serve families, protect families, we take it as a great burden and responsibility to be proactive in that approach and make sure that they're set up so that we're looking out for them the way we'd want to be cared for and we want our loved ones to be cared for. I feel very blessed to be raising 2 daughters in this community. I grew up in this community. I happen to love where we live. You know, my dad moved to Arizona well before I was born, and I was born and raised here, which makes me a little bit rare. Most people move here, they're not from here. And so getting to be from here creates a tremendous sense of pride. I'm kind of spoiled because living in Arizona, there's no natural disasters, there's no issues with weather, there's no, in this part of Arizona, no snow. We never change our clocks. It's like the easiest life ever. So I don't have perspective on what maybe other people really have for what it takes to just live or go to school every day or go to your work every day. And so I happen to love living here. But getting to raise kids here where I grew up is really special, getting to take them around to the different places and organizations that have made an impact in my life. And I think the values throughout this community are strong, and I think we prioritize hard work and we prioritize service, and that's something that I hope is, you know, speaking to them as strongly as it reached me.
It's very special to me because, like Daniel mentioned, I moved here in 1984, and it took me moving here after living in St. Louis, Missouri for 29 years to meet the love of my life, who I've been with for the last 20 years. And we have a blended family. I just love and adore my 3 kids, and my wife has just been not only the greatest wife, but the perfect partner for me in life, and I just couldn't be any more blessed than I am. Well, there's really never been any doubt about that. He came in, and from the day he started here 14 years ago, he just loves the business. He has such a passion, not only for the industry, but for his clientele, and just to carry on. I've been telling my clients, look, someday you're going to worry about me retiring or dropping over or whatever, but we have the legacy here to carry on, and he'll be around a lot longer than all of us, so because most of our clients are my age or older. And just the way he cares about people and the heart that he has, it's just a perfect match.
Yeah, it means everything to me. You know, I think about the man that my dad modeled by example. You know, I got to not only see how to be a great man, a great leader, a great husband, a great father from him, but he really spoke into existence all the things that have come true and really just set the path. I mean, not only starting the business, building the business, bringing me into the business, teaching me the business, mentoring me, but every time we've ever gone out to lunch with a colleague or somebody in the business, he would always say things that are just like so big and inspiring that really motivate me. Like he would tell people like, well, you have no idea who you're having lunch with. Like one day Daniel's gonna be #1 in our business. And to hear that about yourself is extremely humbling. But to have your dad say that to somebody, it really inspires you to want to live up to that potential. And so he just crafted these standards for me and laid it out so eloquently for me to follow and grow into. And so by creating that space for me, you really helped me to become somebody that I'm proud of as a leader and a father and a husband. And it just means the world to me to be able to carry on your legacy and see what we can do with it to honor everything that you and Mom have done.